Hello, everybody. Welcome to another amazing episode of Youth Connect. I'm Aiden.
Hi, I'm Kevin.
Hi, I'm Nibras.
And welcome to our Youth Connect. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another awesome episode of Youth Connect. I hope you guys are excited for a whole bunch of awesome news. For those who don't know, what in the world is Youth Connect? Youth Connect is a news, interest, entertainment show that was created during the pandemic for the community, by the community. Trust you me, guys, you're going to have a whole bunch of news that you probably have never even heard about. Because you know what? We tackle the topics that are definitely the types that aren't usually taken care of. So we're going to get you some gaming news, some entertainment news, some podcast news, good story news, and even some live music. It's going to be awesome. Now, everyone here is all advocates for all abilities, having their jobs and want to become broadcasters and just be people that are part of these huge things, especially this live event. But if you guys know, with Youth Connect, the first thing that we always have to do is some gaming news. All right, guys. So the first thing on our Youth Connect schedule is that we always have to do our video game of the week. That's the first part of our gaming news. Now, what is video game of the week? Well, basically, it's a game that I'm going to showcase or shine the light on, as they might say, on a game that is coming out, has released recently, or an old classic. And let me tell you, I'm going to tackle an old classic that has won Game of the Year for the best action game. And today's game of the week is Dead Cells. Now, what in the world is Dead Cells? Well, you may have heard some interesting stuff, especially on the DLC on it, but if you haven't, here's the story. You are named the prisoner, and you awake in the depths of an island prison, suffering from amnesia and can't remember who you are. A soldier encounters the prisoner and mentions that they can no longer die. So the prisoner tries to escape the prison, but every time is forced back, trying to realize and figure out the story of this strange island. Between multiple escape attempts, the prisoner learns that the island was once a mighty kingdom that fell when a plague known as the Malaise transformed most of the kingdom's citizens into mutated monsters. So, what is Dead Cells? It's a game that follows the roguelike genre, but they say that they also follow the kind of Vania games like Castlevania. But you know what they call themselves? They call themselves a Roguevania, a combination of a Castlevania-like series or Vania series and a combination of a rogue-like category. I apologize. But why is this game so interesting? Why would I pick it? Well, it's an RPG standpoint, and if you know, with any type of Metroidvania, and of course, a little bit of roguelike, you got RPG elements, so that means different weapons, but also travel around the map. Now, what are the features? Obviously, it's a Roguevania. It has an interconnected world and spells with unique gameplay, and of course, there's also the emergency panic roll to get you out of trouble. There's also non-linear progression. Now, what does that mean? That means you don't need to go in one specific way. Maybe I want to go into the sewers or the ramparts or the destroyed city. It doesn't matter where you go. You could go up, you could go down. Just depends on what you are feeling. There's also hidden rooms, secret passages, and charming landscapes. It's a really beautiful game, guys, and it definitely has a ton of replayability. Because every time you die, you learn a little bit about your environment and the strange island you're on, while also progressing farther and farther until you reach the king of the island, who has been corrupted beyond belief. And amazingly enough, always gets some regular free updates. So it's not a game that kind of has been left and to cover with dust. It's updated every 2 to 3 months. And if you've heard, I'm going to get back to this right now, they had a DLC recently, and do you know what they collaborated with? They collaborated with one of the people that have made the Metroidvania kind of series, Castlevania. And what is this DLC? Well, it's a DLC where you get to play with Simon and Belmont and fight the Prince of Darkness, Dracula himself. Oh my goodness. There's tons of DLCs, tons of references to other games, and it's definitely a game that you should definitely check out because it won Game of the Year for Best Indie Game and Best Action Game. So it's a game that it definitely has its awards and definitely can show how much effort that's been put into it. But anyways, you should know what's next. But if you don't know, next up is Kevin with some all-important news.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Youth Connect with me, Kevin Aruja. But for now, let's go over to our headlines. The Ottawa gives final approval for Rogers of $26 billion purchase of Shaw. Ontario minimum wage to increase to $16.55 per hour on October 1st. The Ford government promises fair integration between Toronto surrounding regions by end of 2023. And Panthers down leaves in OT after Maurice tirades. Rogers Communications Inc. $26 billion takeover of Shaw Communications Inc. cleared the last regulatory hurdle today, more than 2 years after the deal was first announced. The federal industry minister approved the transfer of Shaw-owned Freedom Mobile's wireless license to Quebecor Inc., which paves the way for the deal to be completed. Francois-Philippe Champagne says Ottawa has secured legally enforceable commitments for Rogers and Videotron, which is purchasing Freedom Mobile from Shaw as part of the deal, to bolster competition in the sector and actually drive down prices. It also lays out rules for fines and penalties and the allocation of supply where product availability doesn't mean command, common issues during the pandemic. Still, when a final code is anticipating this spring, several potentially large stumbling blocks remain. The draft notes that dispute resolution mechanisms are still under development, though it notes that an escalation range of options from informal discussions to formal aberrations are on the table. It also appears to be undecided how enforcement would be handled and how membership and participation in the code will work. Ontario's minimum wage is set to rise to $16.55 an hour on October 1st. It marks a 6.8% boost from the current rate of $15.50 an hour, an increase tied to inflation. The government says the increase means someone making minimum wage and working 40 hours per week would see their pay increase by nearly $2,200 per year. Labor advocates and oppositions critics have said Ontario should endorse a $20 minimum wage. The Ontario Living Wage System says a living wage in many parts of the province would be $19, but in the Greater Toronto Area it is over $23. Ontario is also working on its portable benefits plan that would provide health and dental benefits attached to a worker, not a workplace. That program is intended to cover workers in the gig community, retail, and hospitality jobs who don't have benefits, and accommodate people who may change careers throughout their lives. A task force set to deliver a blueprint for it in the summer. The Ford government have committed to integrating transit services and fares across the Greater Toronto Area by the end of 2023. Ontario's Associate Minister of Transportation, Stan Show, said that fare service integration is happening this year and will include Toronto. He said that the province is committing to full funding of the program, promising details will be released soon. The Ford government's 2023 budget included a broad commitment to fare integration across much of southern Ontario. It touted a series of previously announced fare integrations between GO Transit and local agencies in the GTA 905, without details of fare integration in Toronto. In sports news, Paul Maurice would have screamed louder and dropped more expletive if he could find the words. Simmering behind the bench as his Florida partners leapwalked through the start of Wednesday's second period, the team's head coach went nuclear during a break in action. Renan Montour scored at 141 of overtime, and backup goaltender Alex Leon made 38 save as the Panthers picked up as a 3 out of 2 victory over Toronto Maple Leafs that energizes their flickering playoffs hopes. Sam Reinhart scored late in regulation to force OT and Anton Lundell, and the other goal from Florida, which is 37 or 31 or 7, which now sits at a point back of a final wildcard sports in the Eastern Conference. The Leafs, who clinched a seventh consecutive postseason berth Monday when Florida lost 5 out of 2 in Ottawa and are all but assured of playing Tampa Bay in the opening round of the playoffs, hit the ice at Scotiabank Arena for the first time since March 17th. And today's weather forecast is cloudy with rain. The rain continues overnight. More showers on Saturday, although you may see some sun. But the temperature is plus 13 on Sunday. Looks bright and sunny again, and includes temperatures. And now for the important, interesting fact of the week. It's now bananas for bananas. I love bananas, and it's my favorite snacks. But bananas are extremely popular fruits. As you can see in the wallpaper, there was a tray of bananas. You see it behind. And bananas are extremely popular fruits, ranking as the third most consumed fruit in the United States after apples and, of course, oranges. They grow in warm tropical climates and make up the staple diet of hundreds of millions of people around the world. Their popularity is well deserved. Bananas are a great source of nutrients and healthy carbohydrates, an excellent energy source. They won't raise your blood sugar too much, but they did taste delicious and unlike many other popular fruit snacks. They don't have a lot of empty calories, but they also contain a good quantity of potassium. Here are some fun facts about bananas that you might not know. Berries are, yes, of course, berries are fruits. They have soft outer skin, fleshy fruit, and many small seeds, all of which fits the description of bananas perfectly. And this might take you by surprise, but these fruits are basically 3 or 4th water, with water making up to 70 or 79% of the total composition. Bananas are slightly radioactive due to the presence of potassium in them, but does this mean that eating them is dangerous? Well, only if you eat 10 billions of them at once, or even 200 of them daily of 7 years straight, or for 7 years straight. Although bananas are versatile snacks, consuming them before playing some sports or going to the gym is highly encouraged globally. The natural composition of these fruits has made them an ideal pre-workout snacks. They're rich in natural carbs and vitamin B6, which not only meets your energy requirements throughout the workout, but also replaces your muscle fuels reserve after it. Those of you who haven't learned swimming yet, you go to the pool with a floaty, don't you? Well, unlike us, the bananas needs added protection to prevent themselves from sinking in water and can float them on their own. It's because the density of these fruits is lower than that water. Did you buy too many bananas are now worried they might go bad? Why don't you try putting them inside your refrigerator? Because both temperature and humidity played a key role in the ripening of these fruits. Putting them in a refrigerator can slow them down, however, but the peels of these bananas would, yes, it would change from yellow to brown, even though the inner flesh remains the same. And another interesting fact is that alongside being the leading banana producer, India is, yes, of course, India is also happens to be the largest banana consuming country globally. So with that, we come to the end of my segment. Tune in for next week, weather, and our very important, interesting fact. I'm sending you back to Aiden.
Okay, so first things first, bananas. My parents are bananas for bananas. They love bananas. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of bananas, eating them raw, but I love eating a delicious fresh loaf of banana bread with some butter. absolutely delicious. Did you know, guys, that there's a type of banana called a sea banana that grows in the sea? That's right. But I didn't know that it would actually taste kind of salty and a little bit spicy, apparently. I'm going to have to definitely check this out because it definitely is a little bit interesting to me. And as I heard, oh, it's a little bit cloudy and a little bit gloomy today. But you know what? I heard that there's going to be a sunny day in the week. So that's always awesome. But you know what? I do like this gloomy weather. It kind of inspires me to create and paint. It just gives that kind of moody feeling. Now, Nibras and Joshua, what did you guys think of Kevin's news?
It was awesome. Good job, Kevin. Kevin, I wanted to ask you, as a viewer and your co-host, is it gonna snow in the next week?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it will snow for
No,
next week.
there's no chance. Awesome. That's amazing.
All right. I'm going to say it as well. Thank you so much, Kevin. Because you know what? It's always great to have some interesting fact. And I always like learning a little bit about the weather so I can prepare. If I need a coat, do I need to wear pants? Do I get to wear shorts? I don't know unless you share the news. So thank you so much, Kevin. But moving on to our second gaming news, I have something devastating, guys, that makes me want to cry because obviously, if you guys know, E3, also known as the Amazing Entertainment Software Association, they announced that to its members that they are going to sadly have to cancel E3. E3, if you guys know, is where the gaming companies all around kind of share trailers of their upcoming games and just kind of share this like information on upcoming games that are going to be releasing, the games that have come out, and usually DLC. Now, IGN has confirmed that there's two sources that confirmed to IGN that the organization announced the cancellation via an email sent out to its members today, which I also received. And the email said that while E3 remains a beautiful and beloved event and brand, that the 2023 version simply did not garner the sustained interest necessary to execute it in a way that would showcase the size, strength, and impact of our industry. It's so sad to hear. But the ESA concludes the email by reiterating its commitment to its advocacy work, but it does not mention undertaking the show again in future years. Does that mean E3 might be gone forever? The only last one we have will be 2022? Well, unfortunately, following IGN's report, the ESA issued the following public statement from Kyle Marsden Kish, which is the global VP of gaming. He says that it was a difficult decision because of all the effort we and our partners put towards making this event happen. But we had to do what's right for the industry and what's right for E3. We appreciate and understand that interested companies wouldn't have playable demos ready and that resourcing challenges made being at E3 this summer an obstacle they wouldn't and couldn't overcome. For those who did commit to E3 2023, we're sorry we can't put up the showcase you deserve, but that you can at least expect from ReedPop's event experiences. You know what? It's a sad thing to hear because E3 is where we get the most news from like Nintendo and Xbox and even PlayStation for the upcoming games. It's so sad to hear, but I've heard that some of the companies are going to be making this small mini event, which will have all the showcase stuff that was going to be showcased at E3. I've only heard rumors here and there, but do look forward for that. And you know what? We can always say press F to pay respects to E3. I'm pressing F right now on my keyboard. No. But seriously, though, it's so sad to hear. And E3 is a huge thing for the gaming community. And it's going to be sad to hear it that it's going to be not be happening this year. But hopefully they are able to do it next year or in the upcoming years. Because you know what? E3 is a huge part. Anyways, though, this has been some sad gaming news. But next up, I hope that you guys can raise the spirits because you know what's next. Next up is Joshua's with your good story news and, of course, your very favorite animal news.
Good afternoon. Welcome to You Connect now for our good news story. It takes bravery to compete in college wrestling, and sophomore wrestler Kendall Cunnings needed every ounce of it when he decided he was not going to let a mama grizzly bear maul his friend to death. Last year, Kendall was out with his friends in the Wyoming woods looking for shed antlers from elk, moose, and mule deer to earn a college kid a few $100s for a big pair of antlers. Ryan Hawkinsmith from ESPN detailed what would become a gruesome encounter while Kendall and his friend Brady Lowry was walking on the trail and was likely a female grizzly bear suddenly slammed into Brady. The impact from the bear, which can weigh around 500 pounds, knocked Brady over dozen yards, and she continued to swat at him as he rolled, dribbling him like a basketball, the ESPN reporter wrote. Kendall was not about to let it happen, and after trying to use his voice to scare her away, he jumped on the bear's back to distract her after she had managed to pin Brady up against a tree. Then Kendall ran as fast as he could. Grizzly bears can sprint over 30 miles per hour, and it wasn't even a few seconds before she had turned around and leaped on top of him instead. Hunters and others who work in the wilderness say the only way to survive an attack like this is to play dead, which is exactly what Kendall did as soon as he realized he could do nothing else. The bear eventually lost interest in the limp body of Kendall, who stumbled to his feet and back down the trail where he met up with Brady, who managed to escape the scene and call 911. The two were eventually medically evacuated by helicopter. Kendall suffered horrific injuries and later brought to a trauma center in Billings, Montana, where surgeons stitched and reconstructed Kendall's face and head, which the bear had repeatedly bit. Brady's father told Kendall, "You saved my son's life," to which Kendall replied, "I would have rather died than have gotten away, and I know I could have helped." What an incredible friend, don't you think? Now for another good news story. 80-year-old wears different color of rainbow every day to spread joy. It all started after Robin Jones bought a pair of yellow zebra striped shoes. "I bought all white clothing," the 80-year-old says, "and dyed every piece to match my shoes." Now, he has a whole collection of colorful shoes with matching rainbow colored clothes that he dyed. Robin says he has outfits in 8 different colors so he can wear different one every day. Robin spent 8 years as a primary caregiver for his wife Kit after she was diagnosed with dementia. Although that was the most challenging time of his life, Robin says it was almost inspiring. "The biggest thing you'll ever learn is to love," Robin says, "and be loved in return." And that's why when he lost his beloved kid and found those yellow shoes, Robin came up with a plan to use colorful clothes as a catalyst for connection. "My job is to meet a new person every day," Robin smiles. Robin says he's formed hundreds of friendships this way, which he often marks by offering them a silver dollar, maintains his friendship by writing the people appreciative poetry. Daniel Volke, who owns a bakery, says Robin inspires joy, spreads happiness, and gratitude to his customers. After living 80 years, Robin says he's learned that cultivating kindness is what life is all about. Robin, you are indeed an inspiration to us all. Now turning to animal interest news. Patience, bribery, laughter, and a heck of bicep muscle were all needed to rescue a helpless dog trapped after falling 10 feet into an ice-covered pool. The Michigan Animal Shelter, called Pound Buddies, received several frantic calls on March 7 about the dog trapped in the old water filtration pond. The pond was frozen over, but with water clearly sloshing about over the ice. How long until the 60-pound husky pulled through the water was anyone's guess. Pound buddies called in Muskin Heights Fire Department, which arrived within minutes to rescue the pup. Video footage shows the moment Lieutenant Krieger climbs over the wall and gains the dog's trust with a treat. Krieger remained with his hand out, calling the dog by name for 3 minutes or so, while his comrades jeered about making no sudden movements. Finally, the timid dog came in for more of Lieutenant Krieger's scratches, allowing him to reach the dog's collar. Displaying remarkable strength, he grabbed the hesitant pooch under his right arm and slowly climbed up the ladder and over the wall to safety. The pup was later checked out and found to be completely unharmed despite the 10-foot fall into the pond. Pound Buddies shared clips of the incident on their Facebook page describing why they called in the big dogs, that is the firefighters, and the moment the animal was rescued. This is Joshua Show reporting for you tonight. That's it for me. Now I'll send it back to you, Aiden.
I've just been sitting here thinking about the first news that you shared. Who in their right mind challenges a grizzly bear to a fight? I mean, like you said, it's over 500 pounds, and most times people play dead. So this man who literally tackled this grizzly bear to save his friend's life is absolutely outstanding amount of friendship, guys. I want to have a friend that would save me from a grizzly bear by wrestling it, because I would love to see it and I would be grateful that he saved my life. I don't know. I just think that somebody who challenges a grizzly bear has a lot of guts. And secondly, on your news, you know what? Dogs always are a little bit childish and a little bit kind of like they can't resist a delicious treat. So it was smart thinking to use treats to lure it to safety. Now, for everyone else, for you, Nibras, and obviously you, Kevin, what did you guys think of Joshua's news?
I think the animal news is good.
I agree on that. The animal news was definitely great to hear. What about you, Nibras?
Same here, but the shoes, and when the one with the shoes lady, it was my favorite for this one. It was really nice touch. It's a really good story.
I don't
Good
know.
job, Josh.
The
Also,
rainbow color, it's a lot.
yeah.
Wearing entirely blue or entirely green. I don't know if I could do it.
Yeah. Also, fighting a grizzly bear, it's not easy. Honestly, it takes. You are right. It takes guts. Good job to him.
Absolutely. I hope he recovers well from the grizzly bear attack, because as you saw, it was some pretty bad injuries.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Joshua. And now it's time to move on to our final gaming news. And if you know, our final gaming news always has to do a board game of the week, similar to our video game of the week, but now it's a board game. Now, what board game do we have today? Well, it's a short board game, because all it is called Boop. That's right, Boop. It is a deceptively cute, deceivingly challenging, abstract strategy game for 2 players. Every time you place a kitten on the bed, it goes boop, which is to say that it pushes every other kitten on the board 1 space away. You must line up 3 kittens in a row to graduate them into cats, and then get 3 cats in a row to win. And you might think that it's easy for both you and your opponent, constantly booping kittens around, but it's like herding cats, for example. Now, can you boop your cats into position to win? Or will you get booped right off the bed? This game is absolutely adorable. The name is fantastic. I absolutely recommend this board game for you guys. It's fun. It's a more abstract way of playing tic-tac-toe, and it makes your brain think, oh, what am I going to do? How am I going to strategize my win? It's kind of like chess in a way, kind of like make 3 in a row, and then it makes a brand new one. 3 kittens into a cat, and 3 cats, you win. So it's kind of like a longer game of tic-tac-toe. You got to use your brain. But This has been the board game. Again, the board game's called Boop. And it was a very short board game because you know what? We got to keep the train moving. And next up is Nibras for some entertainment and podcast news.
Hello, everybody. How are you guys today? My name is Nibras, and I'm yours for the entertainment news. Let's get straight on our top story. Now, before I go any further, I just want to say last night's community dance was amazing. Community came, community showed up, and community rocked. If you came last night, you know what happened. It was a great party, it was a great event. So, now if you missed that event, that's okay. We have so many events coming up this summer, and it's going to be great. So, you can come to those events. That's okay. But now, to my top story. So, my top story is a little bit different. What is Mario without a kingdom of mushrooms to jump around in? If you're looking for the perfect theme topping for your popcorn as you sit down to watch the Super Mario Bros. Movie, Truff has you covered. Yes, Truff has you covered. Los Angeles based company has teamed up with Nintendo and Illumination to bring a trio of mushroom themed hot sauce. Yes, hot sauces. Nick Gluian, co-founder and co-CEO of Chubb, expressed his joy for the signature ingredient, the black winter truff. So when we first glimpsed of the spectacular mushroom kingdom and the adorable and cheerful character Toad featured in the Super Mario Bros. Movie, we were instantly inspired. We clearly found another brand who celebrates mushrooms as much as we do. The sauces come in a 3 pack of special 6 ounces bottles with custom labels, geometric mushroom themed caps, and all wrapped in an exclusive Mushroom Kingdom themed gift box. Each one is based on one of the heroes of the Mushroom Kingdom. The set is presented as a playful way for Truff to introduce the truffle, aka the crown jewel of mushrooms, to the passionate global fan base behind the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Toad with blue color bottle is presented on the Truff original hot sauce. Combination of ingredients delivers a flavor profile unprecedented to hot sauce. Mario with the red color bottle is displayed on a Truff hotter hot sauce with jalapeno rich blend of chili peppers, black truffle, agave nectar, and red herbano powder. Princess Peach with a sweet orange color bottle is featured on the white truffle hot sauce, a blend of ripe red chili peppers infused with white truffle and agave nectar. The variety is then sprinkled with coriander for a brighter and decadent sensation. So again, blue bottle is for Toad, red is for Mario, of course, and orange is for the peach. So there is 6 ounces, so this much, and they're in 6 ounces bottle, and they're just designed is so again, it's so nice. So the set will become available for purchase on April 5th, opening day for the Super Mario Bros. Movie, and will exclusively be available again. So it will be available again at the Truff website, truff.com/Mario movie for $70. Fans can already join the waitlist starting today to get notified when it goes live. So this is good news. So this is a different kind of news. It's entertainment, but it's also about food. If you're a big fan of hot sauces and Super Mario Bros, just again, it's amazing. So now again, I'm a marketing student, and this we called here is taking advantage and taking in a marketing perspective. This is a great opportunity for the company. It's a really good idea. Whoever thought it, it's amazing. I know who in one of our co-hosts is excited for this. If you are, go to truff.com/Mario movie and you can get your hot sauces. Beware, they are a little bit hot. Of course, now to my second story. Now, before I go to my second story, I'd like to look at the fact of the day. And today's fact of the day is drum roll, please. Did you guys know in 2010, China had a traffic jam that lasted 12 days and spanned 62 miles? Yes, that's true. If you guys didn't know, this happened in 2010 and it lasted 12 days and it was a big traffic jam. So the cause was a few things, right? Like big trucks having supplies. They were going to Beijing. A lot of trucks, not just one or two trucks, a lot of trucks. There were various suppliers going to Beijing, and there were also construction going to that highway, and that caused the traffic. So imagine 12 days people didn't go to their home, and it's spawned 62 miles, almost 65 miles. Imagine that. And I did not know this honestly, and I was just amazed. I did do some research, looked at the photos. If you want to look at the photos, you should go to just write China traffic jam 2010, and the pictures are just so many. It's so many cars just jammed up together. It was a traffic jam. Again, it's just, if you like this fact, comment down below. So now to my second story. So my second story is about a podcast. So the podcast name is Dear Young Adult with Giniko Okoro. So this podcast for young people who want to make a difference and have fun while doing it. It's all about people, transformation, and impact in all aspects of living and enjoying life for it is. So what this is just teaching about life balance. You shouldn't be that career heavy, but you should be career middle. Everything should be in a balance. It teaches you how to be balanced, how to have fun, also doing work, assignments, any just getting ready for jobs. She does a lot of stuff with this podcast. I love this podcast. So again, life balance. My dad talks, even since I was a teenager. My dad talked to me and my brothers about life balance. You shouldn't be that, oh, you should play all the time, or shouldn't play and you should study all the time. You study, also play, and have fun. A life balance, and she teaches you that. And it's just a great podcast. So the podcast name again is Dear Young Adult. Dear Young Adult with Giniko Okoro. Just love this podcast. And that's all from me. As always, this is Nibras Khan for Reconnect. I'll see you all next week. Thank you. Take care. Back to Aiden. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for coming.
All right. So, interesting news. I got to say, you know what? The traffic jam in China is definitely a big, big, scary thing, especially being stuck for 12 days. That's absolutely absurd. I could not stay in my car be stuck for 12 days. I would get cramps. But what is the most important thing? I did not know that there was going to be Mario movie themed hot sauces. I already checked it out. I already signed up. I'm already ready to buy those hot sauces because I love hot sauces and they're Mario themed hot sauces. You know what? The price is a little bit expensive for 6 ounces, but you know what? It's Mario themed hot sauces, so it does not matter. We just use it in small quantities. It's going to be absolutely delicious, and I'm so looking forward to trying them out once they come out, and hopefully I can get one before they're all grabbed and they're upsold. So I'm going to make sure I'm ready and prepared.
And trust me, they will be sold out, I believe, in a couple of days.
I'm going to get it as soon as it comes out. But you know what? I think it's absolutely awesome. And unfortunately, for time, I can't ask you guys about Nebraska's news, but I will say thank you so much, Nebraska, for your entertainment podcast news, especially since I learned about the Mario hot sauces. I would have never known. Thanks to you, Nebraska. Now I do. So honestly, thank you guys so much. And you know what? You know who's up next? You might be thinking, where in the world is Jeffrey? Well, Jeffrey is somewhere nice and a warm, but you know what? He made us a video for his live music or recorded music.
musician, and I'm in playing Day Tripper by the Beatles. Got a reason, take it easy, way up. Got a reason, take it easy, way up. She was a day tripper. Now I ain't taking it again. It took me so long. I found out. She got me teasing. She took me half the way there. She got me teasing. She took me half the way there now. She was a day tripper. Sunday California. It took me so long to find out. I found out. Try to please her. She only played one stand. Try to please her. She only played one stand. She was a day tripper. One way to take it again. The same to find out, and I find out. Day tripper, yeah. Day tripper, yeah. Hey everyone, this is Jeffrey, your live musician. Can't wait to see you when I get back. And it's back to you and bye everyone.
Absolutely amazing song by Jeff. You know what? A little bit of a cover, little bit of a classic, kind of like a. It's a song that makes me kind of want to dance. Makes me want to dance. But technically, I danced yesterday, so I think I'm a little bit tired from dancing. But honestly, guys, we have reached the end of our awesome Youth Connect. Thank you guys so much. But if you liked Youth Connect, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
And don't forget to click the notification bell.
Other than that, guys, I hope that you guys have a great rest of your weekend. And I just want to say, you know what? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And thank you so much, Nibras. Thank you so much, Kevin. And thank you so much, Joshua. And thank you, Jeffrey. Obviously, thank you, Jeff. But we will see you all next time. Goodbye and have a great week, guys. Catch you later.